Hi everyone, welcome to week 3 of the course. I hope you're enjoying your journey through economics so far. We got a very interesting week ahead of us. For this week, you're going to have 2 tasks. I know in the previous weeks that you didn't have 2 tasks, but you're going to have discussion board number 2 and quiz number 2. Just as before, discussion board number 2, we're going to look at the requirements of discussion board number 2. You're going to make sure to have your first post by Wednesday by 11:55, your 2 remaining posts by Saturday. Your initial post should make sure to have an in-text citation and a reference in APA formatting. Your initial post is worth 30 points, of which 10 points is getting your first post in by Wednesday, and 2 peer responses of 10 points each. Now, any questions I post in the course can count towards your peer response as well. Now, when you look, the quiz number 2 will be located in the assignment section. Assignment tab, I should say. The assignment is going to be only covering chapter 5 in the course. If you click on the ancillary materials, that is going to be focused on what we're covering this week. And it gives you some helpful things in terms of videos or whatnot that we'll cover. Now for this week, we're going to focus on the role of externalities and challenges we're going to face in our economy. You'll notice we're going to be facing a lot of challenges in the decisions that we have to make. And this will be an interesting week to look at those. So when we look at it, an externality is basically a cost or benefit stemming from a transaction that affects the third party who's not involved in the transaction. The effect can be a benefit to a third party, called a positive externality, or it can be a cost to a third party, which is a negative externality. Externalities disrupt the efficiency of a market because the prices in the individual transactions will not reflect the cost of or benefits imposed by the externality. Governments will often try and account for these outside factors through various methods and regulation. An efficient market is one that finds the ideal price for the general welfare of society and the production of a good or provision of a service, given the supply or demand. There are few transactions that do not involve an unforeseen externality that conforms to the benefits or cost and that has a large distribution. So you'll notice many of these factors that we look at, or many of these instances, will always involve some type of externality. A classic example of a negative externality is pollution. When we look at pollution, you see that there's third parties that are influenced by the role of pollution, which makes for the government to have to get involved with pollution and try to bring about a solution. Now, an externality does not need to be negative. For instance, the increasing prevalence of education in society, it is an example of an economic event with a variety of positive externalities. Any society that is populated by well-educated people will benefit from the knowledge resulting from time and money spent by those people on their education. Technological and medical advances stemming from that knowledge will benefit not only those who make such developments, but those who belong to the society that has access to the advances made by its educated citizens. So education will be a founded thing that will help bring about more in society with a lot more benefits. The key that we're facing is we want to focus on how to evaluate the role of an extra or positive externality, which needs subsidies from the government. Now, a negative externality is a situation in which an individual or business makes a decision but does not have to bear the full cost or outcome of that decision. Instead, at least part of the overall cost of that decision is passed on to society as a whole. When left unchecked, this type of economic phenomenon can lead to considerable social cost and possibly undermine all of the portion of the marketplace. One example of a negative externality has to do with the operation of a factory within a given community. As a part of the cost of production, the businesses purchase utilities, raw materials to produce certain goods. But when the factory starts to release pollutants into the air, there's your negative externality. And the challenge that we're facing is the government has to get involved in that issue to bring about market change. So for this week, I think you'll enjoy it with the role of externality, supply and demand analysis in our work. If you have any questions, please let me know, but I look forward to your analysis this week. And please note that the week ends on Saturday as well.